Do you love interior design but can't make the business side work? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Success by Design, mastering the business of interior design. Whether you want to elevate in your current interior design firm, start your own firm, or move the needle when it comes to your existing firm's trajectory, this is your masterclass, and I'm your host, Katie Erickson. Learn from my mistakes as I built a coast-to-coast, multi-million-dollar interior design firm. I share nearly 20 years of serving as a university professor of undergraduate and graduate business courses with you. And best of all, I bring in experts in all things business and interior design. Class starts now. Hello, and welcome to Success by Design, the podcast where we explore the business side of your interior design business, helping you build a sustainable, profitable, and purposeful practice. And I'm your host, Katie. Today, we're going to talk about design DNA, unearthing your purpose, your profit, and creating authentic growth. And what do we mean by design DNA? Well, we're going to talk about the essential core, the genetic code of your unique design philosophy and your brand identity. We're going to discuss how to weave that DNA into every aspect of your business so you can stand out among your competitors, attract those dream clients, and grow authentically. So I have lots to share with you as always. We've got research, we've got news articles, and most importantly, actionable steps. So let's dive right in. To kick things off, let's define what does design DNA mean to you as an interior designer. Think of it like your biological DNA. It's unique to you. And when it comes to your business, your design DNA is the core essence of your creative identity. This is going to be your inspirations, values, aesthetic preferences, and the way you solve those design challenges and client communication. How important is this? Well, a recent Interior Design magazine article discussed how brand authenticity is now crucial, to use their word, in the interior design industry. In fact, designers who understand their unique design voice and communicate it effectively stand out and attract clients who deeply resonate with their style. And a study by the American Society of Interior Designers revealed that 73%, more than 70% of clients prefer designers with a consistent brand narrative. That means your social media presence and your project execution are all in alignment. They found that this consistency builds trust and fosters long-term client relationships. And what is better than that? So when we have this, we can really go further. And that's why this matters. First of all, get a clarity of purpose, because a well-designed business identity becomes your guiding star. Think of it as your North Star whereby you are running your business. Also, we can't talk about this without talking about differentiation, because the interior design market is competitive. You did not need me to tell you that, right? But having a unique DNA is going to help you stand out. And then that client attraction and retention, not just attraction, but then closing them and then retaining them is critical to building that business you want. Authenticity and consistency are going to act like magnets for those right clients that you want to come back over and over. If you're sitting here and you're not sure what your purpose is, though, this next conversation is for you. We're going to explore the core of your business, and that is your purpose. Your purpose is the why behind your design practice. What drives you beyond just turning a profit? This is going to take a moment to sit with yourself, and I know that makes some of you more uncomfortable than others, but it's really important that you ask yourself these questions. Why did I become an interior designer? And if you're a veteran designer, is it still relevant to ask that question? Yeah, it is. And I'll tell you why. Until we know our why, we can't move forward. And I bet your why has changed over the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years. That's okay. It's just important we identify where you're at now. Number 2, ask yourself what excites you the most about creating interiors. What do you love about it? 3, how do you want your work to impact your clients' lives? This may seem like something you already know, especially if you've been in the industry for a few years, but maybe it's evolved when you take the time to sit down and literally journal about it with a real pen and a real paper and not just your laptop. And finally, what values shape your decision making? I would bet there's going to be a common thread that emerges in those responses. And those are going to be the clues to your deeper purpose. Out of that, you're then in a position to create and craft a purpose statement because you're going to begin shaping those recurring themes into that concise statement. For example, I design spaces that nurture well-being and sustainability, create harmony between people and their environment. That right there is that North Star we're talking about. An Architectural Digest interview recently highlighted a renowned designer who's built her entire firm around sustainability and client well-being. In fact, she openly shared this purpose across her platforms, resulting in more aligned projects and stronger long-term client relationships. Remember, aligning with your purpose often supports profit. It doesn't have to be an either-or proposition because clients prefer working with designers who have clarity and conviction and can communicate that in their mission. Next, let's discuss the relationship between purpose and profit. How do you translate, once you know your unique design DNA, into financial success? Well, first of all, we've got to define that ideal client or your very best client, as my friend John McClain says. Creating your ideal client profile. So think about listing out project types and client qualities that closely align with your purpose. Whether that was an eco-conscious homeowner, maybe it's commercial spaces prioritizing well-being, or hospitality projects seeking serenity. Knowing who you're going after and who you want to build a relationship with is so important. One thing I like to do is think about the clients that we have loved working with and those that have been hard. Why were they hard? Why were they maybe not a good fit? And then the ones that were fabulous to work with, by the same token, why were they fabulous? What made that such a good relationship? And then pricing for value. And I'm not talking about reducing your rates here. I'm talking about charging what you're worth because you have to position your pricing to reflect the unique value you provide. Whether you are specializing in sustainability or maybe you're doing cutting edge tech integration, you can often command higher fees when you demonstrate the added benefits and the expertise you bring. Not only are your ideal clients likely looking for it, they're probably willing to pay for it. According to a Harvard Business Review article, purpose-driven businesses often enjoy stronger customer loyalty and resilience, especially during tough economic times like we're going through now. I wouldn't say tough, I'd say uncertain, right? For designers, this is going to translate into consistent referrals for you, repeat clients, and potentially premium pricing, depending on how good of a message you have and how well you communicate it. The reality is when you weave purpose into every stage, from marketing to project delivery, your business is naturally going to become more profitable and more sustainable. So let's talk about scaling that design business without losing sight of what makes you you. This is about authentic growth, and that means expanding your reach and offerings without diluting your core brand identity. And this is what I often see when I coach. People who lose their core brand identity because they are more interested in growth than smart growth. Growth should not just be happening for growth's sake. We are talking about intentional growth that aligns with your authentic self and your specific design DNA. So first of all, we have to be consistent when it comes to branding across touch points, whether that's your website, your social media, your proposals, your emails. All of them need to reflect your unique design DNA. Whatever you are championing, and maybe it's bold color and artful statements, maybe that's your jam. Display that vibrantly in your marketing. This is one thing we love to do at our firm. We unapologetically say that we do not do single family design, and we are very bold about that. In fact, we don't even have an option for it on our website. Also, think about thought leadership. Positioning yourself as an expert is critical. I want you to think about the magazines that are local and on your coffee table, or that you've seen in your doctor's office. Is there a reason you can't be the expert writing the articles on that? Or maybe it's speaking on a podcast that you enjoy listening to. Or maybe it's hosting local design workshops through your community college. Sharing actionable insights that align with your design DNA attracts the right clients. I remember nearly 15 years ago when I held a seminar as part of an education event. And who would show up there but the president of a foundation worth $113 million. They are still our client today. Also, strategic partnerships. From alliances with professionals who share your values. This is so important, whether it's those local artisans that have become so valuable to us in times of tariffs when we need to see who's in our backyard and we're not just relying on imports. Maybe they're using reclaimed materials, or maybe you have these high-tech vendors who prioritize well-being or functionality that you can consistently reach out to. This is not only going to broaden your audience, but it's also going to reinforce that brand identity or your unique design DNA. Recently, Business of Home showcased a designer who experienced a 30% increase in client inquiries after collaborating just with local eco artisans. And her brand quickly became synonymous with sustainability and authenticity. Know your market. What are they looking for? And how can you find that right in your own backyard? Because authentic growth means every new project, every new partner, or every new client can strengthen your brand story, because we don't just want to grow bigger, we want to grow better. All right, finally, let's bring it home to the day-to-day realities of running a design firm. Project kickoffs. I want you to think about this. Beginning each project by reiterating your core values and your brand promise. Ensure the client understands and aligns with your approach. If they do not, I hate to say it, but they're not going to be a good fit. Also, number 2, think about your creative process. Integrate signature elements that reflect your DNA, whether that's your color palettes, your materials, maybe it's your distinct problem-solving methods. Using mood boards potentially that visualize or embody your brand. For us, it's simply saying we have a process and being very strategic about when and if we allow clients to deviate from that. It has become the backbone of what we do and is really unique in what we do. Third, think about your team alignment. If you have a team, they need to know your DNA. So everyone, it's like a boat. You got to be rowing in the same direction. Whether that's fabric selections to client communications, the reality is alignment is key. If you don't have a brand voice, a creative process, and if you're not inviting your clients to be a part of that, the reality is the project is going to go sideways, if not now, eventually. And then finally, reflection and refinement. After each project, this is hard to do because it's so easy to jump to the next project, but I want you to take a deep breath and pause. Review what worked well and what you could improve, because all of us can always be improving. After almost 20 years in this industry, we still do this as a team at the end of every project. Think about referencing your purpose and your brand values then in that reflection as well. This iterative process keeps your DNA strong and relevant, and it also improves your processes, which I absolutely love. The Design Management Institute found that companies practicing consistent design thinking see higher returns. That's right, more profit, partly because cohesiveness builds trust and loyalty among your clients. So think of your design DNA as a guiding compass, or that North Star we've talked about. It's not here to limit your creativity. That's the last thing I want to do. Rather, it's going to channel it in a focused direction so that every decision supports your purpose, your values, and those long-term goals. Here's your recap. First of all, design DNA is your unique creative core. Clarify it, embrace it, and most importantly, communicate it to your internal and external stakeholders. Number 2, purpose underpins everything you do, guiding both creative direction and your business strategy. 3, link your purpose to your profit by targeting the right clients and articulating back to communicating the distinct value you provide. 4, Realize authentic growth requires staying true to your brand identity, building strategic partnerships, and consistently delivering on your promises. And finally, weave your DNA into daily practice. From the project kickoff to the final reveal to the closeout packet, keep your brand DNA front and center. Remember, your business should be working for you, not you working for it. And if you're ready to take your design firm to the next level without sacrificing the values and vision that make you unique, I invite you to explore one-on-one coaching with me. Together, we'll refine your design DNA, streamline your operations, and position your brand for authentic growth and profitability. Until next time, take care. And that's the closing bell. I hope you've gathered valuable insight from our conversation today, equipping you to thrive in your interior design business. Don't forget to hit that follow button to never miss an episode. And if you have burning questions or specific topics you're curious about, explore our episode library, or better yet, book a strategy session directly with me at colorworks.coach.